forgiven him, don't you think he would have also been forgiven? Why don't you learn a lesson from this? When you are instructed to refrain from sin, you refuse. When the repercussion of the sins you commit will weigh down on you, you begin to complain, attribute the cause of your suffering to moment and ghost and witchery and apparition and what have you. And you've forgotten that it is exactly the repercussion of the sins you have committed.
And I know it is like a gospel. It's fine to do it. Ndore do it. Ndam ben say it well. They cast a number of young for a yobo, penny young for a couple of numbers, and my number for yobo, utibating for a couple of numbers.
There is no argument in this gospel. You don't have to see it in vision or in the dream. No disputing about it. There is no debate, no argument whatsoever. If you do what is good, you will be rewarded accordingly. But if you commit any act of sin, you will actually receive the repercussion of it. David, I don't think there is any person in the world whom God so loved more than David. And I don't think there is any other person in the world who has suffered like David suffered. Why was this so? It is what is planted.
The Georgia, I reckon then of him, what you reckon, Maya for Yakaro for me. Ayakaro, I did for coming out of wood. Book was up on number, and people who come and people who follow before this character for them.
And so, brethren, if it is predestinated that you will rule over this house, you will surely rule over this house. But if you have beaten somebody to death, even though it has been predestinated that you will rule over this house, you will also be beaten to death.
All right. I'm a woman for the old casket. What's that? Can go when you want me out of bomb. And you go fingo. But we don't see radio.
That is what is happening. If, because you want to rule over this house, you go to kill some people, and then declare yourself the ruler over this house, one day some other person will kill you, and you will not continue to rule. As you are indulging, you all in the whole world, you are indulging in committing murder, in sending people to the prison yard, in torturing people and oppressing them, in defaming their character. When I notice all this, tears always come out of my eyes.
And you have many a panicom. And you have a senior panicom. A panicom is and it's up for Jordan.
When you pray that God should take away problems and difficulties, He has not got problems or difficulties. Whatever comes by you is the result of what you have planted for yourself. And I rest assured that it has already started to be clear in your eyes from today. Many people complain, why has God allowed me to fall into the hands of my enemies? God can never allow you to fall into the hands of your enemies. It is exactly what you have planted for yourself. When you oppress on somebody, when you suppress somebody, when you take somebody's article under false pretenses, and when you kill and defrauded people, do you think that God did not watch at you?
Guys, to dress them for me. And I go a holy land.
If you go to see what transpires in Israel, it is war after war every time. And yet it is always referred to as the Holy Land. That name, Holy Land, does not prevent war from being ravaging the whole place.
Jerusalem, it is an obvious. But, go my prophet wouldn't more. I can't answer. Yes, I said Jerusalem, come pretty well near. To move out of your phone and you know the Kenyan Jehovah.
Jerusalem is always referred
a pattern that an equal. Yes.
Jerusalem is always referred to as a holy city. But all the prophets were killed dead. And that's why Lord Jesus Christ said, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who murder all your prophets, you will never see me again until you say, blessed is the person who comes in the name of the Lord. No matter how wide you may be, you will never see him again.
Directly. Who took for toilet?
Your punishment does not come from God directly. It comes from what you have done. Because it is what you planted that you are reaping.
And when once for number young for now for both young for
since he is God, he has instructed us to refrain from all manners of sin, because if we continue to commit sins, we will suffer as a result. If we tell lies, we will suffer the result of falsehood. And if you go to commit this act of sin, it is not God punishing you per se, it is the result of the sins you've committed yourself. Yes,
except for Woodoo, except for Papa, except for you know, therefore Corribo, therefore some strong men, upon the album won't go and can box. I think you're a popular bureau. Then he said that it was any water than for.
It is always said that children of wealthy people are never prosperous. Your father was a murderer, he stole, he swindled, he committed robbery, he committed robbery and all sorts of things. He oppressed upon people, he defrauded people, and so fill the whole of his compound with wealth. Tell me how these children will be prosperous.
And I said, oh, I get out one for my death. During the talking them, dying. Okay? No, you're my winner.
What has God said? He says, I will visit the iniquities of the parents upon the children unto the third and the fourth generation.
Okay? Anyone be one year, you'll be made in. I get adventure. Oh, what beautiful. I got Lagos. I won't go and cannibal. I did you say, I forgot you, okay? You ain't going to get to better. I did you say, for Cabo Pepper, 10 times, I forgot can you so? Yeah, you know what you can already do. Well, I might call you, but don't bother Aka. But I can't transfer.
The heavy burdens we are carrying are the result of the sins we commit every day. If somebody from your village goes to Lagos and commits an act of sin, and you are not aware of it, the man has gone away, when suddenly maybe you go to Lagos, and you mention the place, he says, is this man not from the place where the other person stole such and such a property? You are handed over to those persons, and you can never escape from them.
That is it.
You are seeing these things happening every day. You go to collect something there, no other person knows. But you receive the repercussion of it, because the person who collected that article comes from the same place as you come from.
You tell us, men paper, men were swapper, men offer. Eddie, Apocanam, men follow. Again, they are one.
You pray that God should take away temptation and death and sickness, but you are committing sin. Do you think God will take away all these things as you are praying?
What would you down brotherhood? And the brotherhood of the cross. And I'm Yakupun for a trek again. Wukuna by young folk. kó nana kúkúrú wípé